Today is January 30th, 2022, and we have super good news to start the year with. On January 21st, 2022, so almost a week ago, the US government issued not new rules because the rules remain the same, but new actions and new interpretation in order to attract and retain STEM talent in the United States. So the United States is aiming to continue to be a leading nation as far as keeping the technology, critical and emerging technologies in the United States. So the Biden-Harris administration issued those new sets of interpretations and also adding new fields to the list of STEM occupations. And for those of you who doesn't know what STEM stands for, it stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So those new set of actions will impact especially 4 types of visas. The first one is the J1 for exchange visitors. The second one is the F1 for academic students. The third one is the O1 for individuals of extraordinary ability. And the third one is the EB2 for people applying under the National Interest Waiver category. So the EB2 is a permanent visa, whereas the J1, the F1, and the O1 are non-immigrant visas, meaning those individuals are allowed to remain temporarily in the United States. So starting with the F1 student visa first. The F1 allows for anyone that is coming to the US, for example, to receive any type of education as English as a second language, or to receive a certificate or undergrad or master's or PhD. Basically, those individuals, not the ones that come for to learn English, but the ones that are coming to the US to receive an associate, a bachelor's, a master's, or a PhD, they are eligible to receive 12 months of optional practical training. It is basically an off-campus training allowed by law. It doesn't matter what type of occupation or field of education you are into, you are eligible to receive those 12 months, okay, of training off campus. And now what happens is the regulations allow for people that are graduating with at least a bachelor's degree to receive an additional 24 months of training if they graduate within a STEM occupation that is listed on an official list created by the US government. And they work for a company that is e-verified, meaning the company has a special registration with the US government to provide training to those international students. So what the government did now, they expanded the list of STEM occupations, okay? So now there are 22 additional fields that students that come to receive a bachelor's, master's, or a PhD and they work for an e-verified company, those people would be allowed to get the total of 36 months to receive training on the job training with the OPT. So that's amazing. That's amazing news. The second visa is the J1 exchange visitor visa. So as of now, you can get a J1 visa, for example, to study in a university. You can get your bachelor's, you can get your master's, or you can get your PhD while you have a J1. So the entity that will decide what type of visa you can hold is actually the university. So the university might choose that you come with an F1 student visa or with an exchange visitor visa. But if you come with the J1 visa, as of now, the regulations allow you to have up to 18 months of academic training, so off-campus training. of course, this 18 months is truncated up to the duration of your course load. So if your master's, it's only for 12 months, your academic training will be for 12 months only. The only exception that we have nowadays is if you graduate with a PhD, you have an additional 18 months for your postdoc training. So it's going to be 18 months for your academic training plus 18 months for your postdoc training. So as of now, after January 21st, 2022, the US government said, okay, so everybody, okay, regardless if you have if you are graduating with a PhD or not, you're gonna have an additional 18 months. So for a total of 36 months, if you graduate within one of the STEM occupations, okay, it's a field within STEM. So that's amazing. That's great news for everybody, university and also students. So the US can attract those individuals to the US, and then after they receive their training, they might be, if there is a chance, they might be eligible to receive a work visa from that entity that employed them under the OPT or the academic training options. And so now, I'm not going to discuss the O1 today. I will jump directly into the EB2 National Interest Waiver Visa. So for those of you who don't know about the visa, please feel free to reach out to us, and we'll be glad to review your resume and make an assessment whether you qualify for this type of visa or not. But the beauty of this visa is that you don't need an actual employer looking for your set of skills in the US. You can come directly to the US government. You can self-sponsor and say, I'm so exceptional that I'm going to bring more benefits to the country that if I remain outside the United States. So USCIS officers have to follow when they are reviewing applications under the EB2 category. So now the Field Adjudicator's Manual is saying, well, we have the intention or we have the desire to keep you here. So not only the fact that you have a PhD in a specific STEM field, you make you eligible for the visa, but having an education in a STEM field is actually a factor that will play a very positive impact, okay, on your application, your petition. Not only that, so if you have, for example, letters from the government or quasi-governmental entities saying that they have the intention or they have an interest in your research or your company that it's within the STEM field, that's going to play also a huge impact on your application. The entrepreneurs, they will be also, they'll have specifically advantages when they apply for the EB2 NIW, especially if you are an entrepreneur and you are the owner of your company and you have, for example, a position of decision. So if you are, for example, an officer of the company and you have made a substantial investment into that company, or you have angel investors, for example, with interest on your company, or you have been part of an incubator or accelerator program, all of those will be of tremendous advantage to your application and petition. So that being said, again, that's still very discretionary, very subjective, and we are here to help you out. We have a lot of experience doing EB2s and IWs, F1s and J1s. So if you still have any doubts or if you wanted to pursue, for example, any type of visas, now we are almost reaching the H-1B cap season. Feel free to reach out to us. Our phone number is 713-397-4997 or 281-908-6450. you can also send us a message via our website at bfraude.com. And it was a pleasure talking to you today. I hope to see you soon.